just pulled over here for a minute just to show you Pendle Hill.
That's Pendle Hill.
Yeah, so
That's beautiful, isn't it?
so that's where all the witches live. So right, let's carry on.
You know what a hill is, though, really, don't you? It's a big load of soil covered in grass.
Yeah, it's not a mountain, is it?
No, and we've had that debate before when we used to go on our gigs. Do you remember we used to say, what's the difference between a mountain and a hill? At what point does a hill become a mountain? There must be a certain height.
There's a height. There was a film made about that, wasn't there?
Was there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's a good film.
That was the beautiful thing about doing lots of gigs. Now we've semi-retired, we don't get to spend quite as much time together, but where those long drives to Plymouth and Swansea and the like, you do cover some ground with your conversations, don't you?
We've talked about some right shit.
Yeah.
I think we talked about more shit when Gay Darren was in the car, though.
He was actually named when we were in Cardiff driving past the school for the blind, if you remember. And he said at the time, "Did you know that I'm actually blind in one eye?" And we said, "What? But you're our driver. How can you be blind in one eye?"
Yeah.
And that's actually when the christening of Gay Darren, the one-eyed driver, came to be.
Although he doesn't like to be called Gay Darren anymore.
No, he likes to be
Uncle Darren.
referred to as Darren,
Or Uncle Darren.
because he doesn't want people.
But you obviously tell your children he's Uncle Darren.
I tell my children he's Uncle Darren.
And I tell my child he's Uncle Darren. Though my child is 17 and in a dangerous area there.
Yeah, he's ripe for Uncle Darren.
Yeah, but I've told Max, I said, look, you know, Darren's a friend, but just, you know, keep away from him.
Yeah.
Sheep.
Yeah, more sheep. Yeah, my children, who are 9, 7 and 3, the 9 and 7-year-old, have asked the question, has Uncle Darren got a girlfriend?
What did you say?
I said, no, he hasn't. He lives on his own. Leave it there, I said. Whereas Bradley, the older one, he's kind of got, yeah, okay, he's got to grips with it.
Because Darren don't come across as a camp sort of gay, does he? He's not camping
really.
anyway. He's quite, in fact, he's very northern butch. You'd have him down as a, what would you have him down as? A thug.
I mean, people can be mistaken for thinking you're the gay one.
Well,
really.
funny you should say that, because when I was at school, I was, you know, everybody was into punk, I was into sort of, you know, ska, and I was into disco. So in 1978, I was buying 12-inch records, disco music, and all my friends at school used to say, oh, here comes Gay Marlowe, which obviously was my name then, Lee Marlowe. And they used to think I was a bummer, because I had a briefcase. On the one side I got Village People written, on the other side I got Gibson
Briefcase?
Brothers.
Why would you have a briefcase?
Well, my
at
nan
school?
got it. My nan got it, but I painted Village People, Gibson Brothers,
You deserve kicking for that.
Patrick Juvet on it. Yeah, and I wore wait for this. I wore bowling. They were like stay pressed trousers, a bowling shirt, and my mum for 1979 Christmas she bought me some roller boots. Now this was the time when Can't Stop the Music was in the charts and it was all about Manhattan. I had a ghetto blaster and I used to go along the street with these roller boots on listening to disco music.
So while we're on the subject of your mother, I noticed recently on Facebook your mother had posted something about, I think you'd played down in Portsmouth, and you'd obviously said it was a good gig, and she posted something like, oh, aren't all your gigs great gigs, Lee? I'm sure your followers must think that, but I remember when you were a little boy and you were banging on a metal tin to the sound of Yellow Submarine. You've got to have a word with your mother, because that is really embarrassing.
Well, what can you do? Well, you know, Facebook's there for your friends and your family. My mum is obviously family. What do you know, when she...
Keep them out.
Yeah, but no, when my mum said, accept as a friend, what do I do?
I ignored mine. My mother sent me a friend request, and I just ignored it because I thought, you don't want to be on here.
What? So you've blocked your mum?
Yeah.
That's awful. She's your flesh and blood.
Yeah, but there's people posting all kinds of stuff on your Facebook, pictures and comments.
But what are you going to say to your mum when she says, why didn't you...
I didn't see it. I've got thousands of people, Mum, I say. Because I have got 5,000 people on my Facebook, and I've got about 1,800 waiting to be friends, so occasionally I just select a few.
Yeah,
generally girls.
Yeah, generally girls with pictures of them doing that.
Well, there's a bit of criteria. You've got to be an attractive girl or someone that's very clearly passionate about tidy. Because what I'll do is I'll look at your music interests, and if you don't refer to the tidy boys in there, I'll say, well, what do you want to be a friend with?
A little bit of prejudice then.
A little bit, yeah. But no, don't let your mum in.
Oh, well, she's in, my brother's in,
Yeah,
You know?
I'd get rid of your mother because she's going to bring you down.
Well, I did delete a post the other day, so.